All eyes on Doge. Big run up to the moon. Whew. Doge still going up. All eyes on Doge. Still big run up to the moon. Keep going up. Going up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Up. Movement in Doge. Dogecoin. Up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Up. Movement in Doge. Dogecoin. 42.60. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin.
Hey everybody, Kriss here. Welcome on a Monday. How's everybody doing? It is the Monday between Christmas and New Year's, which means, people are checked out, but that doesn't stop the manipulation from continuing. And I've got somebody else's view on that. So we're going to talk about that. Yeah, we'll talk about silver too, talk about Bitcoin, but we're going to talk about Dogecoin patterns, cyclical patterns, particularly, and what Dogecoin could do, because that's what everybody wants to know, right? You're yawning about silver there, Charlie. Yeah. It's like, everybody's talking about silver. Nobody talked about silver 6 months ago. Nobody cared about silver 6 months ago. And now it's all silver. But, it's the FOMO, the FOMO comes in, right? And everybody's talking about it, which means, it's probably dead now. We'll talk about that. How's everybody doing? Doge is at 12.24, lower than where it was when I made my video this morning. But I do have a price target even lower because, of course, the whole heat map liquidation thing. And I'll show you that as well. I predicted Doge would go up to 12.6 yesterday, and last night it did. It did actually go up to 12.6, took out a bunch of shorts, and then they dumped the price to take out longs, but there's more longs a little lower. So we'll show the update on the heat map on that. Bitcoin did the same thing. In fact, Bitcoin actually dropped lower to take out more longs, but we looked at in the last hour, Dogecoin has actually taken out more leverage than Bitcoin. And you don't normally see that because Bitcoin got creamed earlier, taken out. But and ADA, like Cardano, is dumping this afternoon. So good time to take profit on silver. I said that last night. I said that last night when it hit 80. I was like, you might be wanting to be taking some profit on that silver. So that's what's going on. The quick overview of where we start. And let's just start with the news. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Dogecoin trade sideways into the last days of 2025. And I'm like, does this look like sideways? Benzinga's got the wrong chart. This isn't sideways. It was sideways over the weekend, right? We were watching this slow, steady grind up for Doge. Bitcoin was almost flat. That was sideways over the weekend. But what happened on late Sunday night? We had the big pump, as I predicted for Doge, and then the dump, as I then later predicted again for Doge. So that is what we have going on. And if you don't believe me, follow me on X at KrissPax. That's where I am when I'm not here on YouTube. So give me a follow there. Having a lot of fun. So here it was. Let me come down right there. As predicted, Dogecoin moved up over 1255 last night to liquidate over $2 million of leveraged shorts. That was just Dogecoin. $2 million last night. Yeah, we'll show the silver chart. We'll get to it, low roller. We'll get to the silver. Target now looks to be for Doge to drop down to about 1216 to take out the leverage longs. So there it is. There's the big yellow. This is what it looked like this morning. We'll take a look at it now just to get the latest. But there's 1216 right there. And so that's what I predicted. And we're almost there. We're almost there. Unfortunately, that is what moves the markets. And if you don't believe me, Well, Nagato says the same thing. You know what's actually funny? I know it's not funny if you're actually in deep in a lot of crypto. Not funny. But every day it becomes more and more obvious what market makers have been doing for months. And you guys who've been here hanging out with me, you already know this because I've already explained it all to you. So this isn't new to me and you guys. This isn't new. But Nagato's saying it becomes more and more obvious. And I'm like, no. It's been obvious. It's been obvious here on the KrissPax channel. If you still don't see it, you're sound asleep. Ask yourself this. How do you extract liquidity from the average trader and crush the conviction of long-term believers at the same time? You turn price action into psychological warfare. Every extreme, violent push up is shortly followed by an equal or worse push down. Zoom out and look at Bitcoin over the past 3 to 4 weeks. What do you see? Barts. Yeah, Barts, the Bart Simpsons, right? Comes up, kind of wiggles around a little bit like Bart's head, and then drops back down again and again and again. Straight up, straight down. Again and again and again. So the latest one happened earlier today. Bitcoin ripped up $3,000 to $4,000 last night. Shorts got liquidated. Hope came back. But I didn't have the hope. I knew what was going on, that it was going to drop back down. Then almost immediately, price retraced straight back to where it started. Late longs got destroyed. Everyone emotionally drained. Once again, all by design. And here's what people completely miss. Even though market makers are loving doing that right now, this isn't just about flushing high leverage gamblers on both sides. This absurd price action is mainly designed to mentally annihilate the last remaining magic internet money believers, to get you to think, okay, we're back. And then you get slapped an hour later over and over and over again. It's not randomness, it's design. This is how you shake out even the most stubborn bulls before the next obvious move. They don't even bother hiding the game anymore. No, they never did. Because you guys have been listening to me, and you know I have already explained this time and time again, how it all works. So you're like, oh yeah, Kriss already told me all that. I know that. We're just sitting here waiting for Elon or something, right? To pump our bags. So if someone had slept through the last 24 hours and opened the chart right now, you'd see Bitcoin was at the exact same price. Like nothing happened, because most people live on lower time frames. That's it. It goes up, it goes down. Yeah. So what do? You zoom out. You stop letting intraday noise fry your nervous system. You focus on where this industry is going, key macro dynamics. And that's it. We're heading into the monthly and yearly closes. Volatility will sometimes be a part of the equation. He said absolutely. I say sometimes because I think it's going to be weak this year. We're not going to have a lot of volatility going into Wednesday night. I don't think so. So, yeah. So, Nagato, good post here by Mr. Nagato. In fact, I should actually heart it. Yeah, I give it a heart. Good post. Thank you, Nagato. Again, nothing new to me, nothing new to you guys who've been here. Manipulation is the name of the game, because those exchanges and market makers don't want those degen leverage traders to win. They take them out up, they take them out down, again and again and again. Dogecoin, meme coins. What happened to this site here? This is looking a little dicey. Meme coins, Doge, Pepe, recover. Are they recovering? Not really. They posted this right when prices were up, and now prices are no longer up. So it's all falling right back down. Are there bullish bets surging on meme coins? I don't think so. I don't think so. Obviously, there's leverage trading going on, but the whole futures market in crypto is so low right now because the traders are just continuing to get wiped out. So less and less is being bet on new leverage trades. But the market makers do continue to take those out. So Dogecoin is inching closer to flipping the bearish trend. What does this mean? Dogecoin ticks higher by 1% at press time on Monday, holding above 12 cents. So we're looking to see whether the trend line, this is a 4-hour, you really don't do the trend line on the 4-hour. You typically do it at the daily, at the minimum. Most people, like Ivan on Tech, uses the weekly chart. So the flips from bear to bull don't happen very often. So that is the money line that Ivan talks about. You don't do it on the 4-hour because then it's like every few days it's flipping. Now, if you're a swing trader, a heavy swing trader, sure, maybe you can follow this, but you're going to get stuck if you do this. So because you would have immediately bought here, you would have bought at about 14 cents. You had one little pump and then it dumped and you would have sold for a loss at 13.7. You would have sold for a loss. So it doesn't always work. But there's a lot of people who follow the money line, these buys and sells. Typically, like I said, they're on longer time frames. So yeah. But there's really no rise in open interest right now on Doge. This article says the open interest is actually going up, but it's just decimated from the last year. It's lower. Maybe it's starting to tick up a little bit over the last week, but since October 10th, I mean, when everybody got liquidated, open interest just plummeted, absolutely plummeted. So what about these cyclical patterns here? That's what you came for, right? The secular patterns. I mean, we got Trader Allen, right? He's got his. He likes to draw his pretty little charts. Come on. There we go. He's way out zoomed here. Going back to 2021, the dump through 2022. So far, this dump here is looking like the 2022 dump to me. And we haven't even gotten close to this big double bottom, 2022 and 2023. This is what's coming, guys. Unfortunately, this is what's coming. We want it to be at a higher low, though. About 9.5 cents is what I have predicted. And then we'll do a pump. Unless, of course, unless Elon, it's got to be Elon. That's the only thing. Elon. We got to watch for him. Tesla, X money, X payments, whatever that is, that's what we're going to be looking for. We're going to be looking for that. So, Dogecoin versus Bitcoin is way down. Historic lows at 0.00014. We were watching that up in the 20s, hoping to get to the 30s, and we're all the way down to 14. So that's not good. I mean, these cyclical signs are not good right now. Cantonese Cat is looking at Dogecoin versus silver. And of course, silver has gone on this huge run where Dogecoin pulled back. So it's been this inverse relationship. Typically, what you'll see is then silver go down and then Bitcoin go and Doge go up. And that's what we're watching for. And silver has already started to retrace. So, yeah, last night I posted this, the silver top. I posted this last night at 83.73 silver top. And later on said, take profits on that. And then what happened? Silver continued to dump. So profit taking on silver, some heavy shorting of some kind. I don't know how you short silver. I guess there's a market for that somewhere. But yeah, silver dumped. So yeah, that's a trade you do not want to be stuck in. You don't want to be buying up here. When it's got over $80, I was like, yeah, don't be buying this. This is looking so toppy. And sure enough, there it is. So I called this last night, and somebody said, I don't think so. Cooling down before the next leg up. And I was like, yeah, no. No. That's not what's going on. So, yeah, we'll look at the silver price in just a minute. We can talk about Clean Core and the Zone stock, which all-time lows, just totally tanked. And I called them out on it today. Called them out on it. Down 95% over 3 months. That's not good. But hey, Andrew DeFrancesco of the House of Doge did reply to me and said, look, our transaction was at $1. So I didn't know that before, because the price of Clean Core was actually over $1 at the time they made the transaction. So their takeover of Clean Core, I call it a takeover. They said it was a merge. No, they bought them. They bought it out. $1. So down at 22 cents from $1, that's not looking good for them. Zone owns over 730 million Dogecoin. True. But the Doge price is going down from when they bought it as well. So they're down on that too. Andrew also says 98% of DATs, which are digital asset treasuries, are now trading well below NAV. True. But what does that mean? You're all in the same boat, right? You're down. The team isn't sitting on their hands. Building great companies takes time, and there will be potholes like Cyclical, right? Like Cyclical. Here's the cyclical pattern again, beyond our control. So the team is building. And I said, thank you for the response, Andrew. Frustrated, I guess, but that DAT stat isn't a good one. Andrew says, totally get it, but these are facts. We have shown how much we believe in Doge between zone buying and our partnerships with ETPs, ETFs. That's 21 shares they're in partner with. That hasn't started yet. Price is unfortunate at the moment, but we have a business plan to roll out, and we haven't even had our first birthday yet. So that's the latest from the House of Doge. So thank you, Andrew, for responding to my posts. But yeah, this Clean Core stock is like, yeah, I'm going to sell it probably tomorrow. Going to take the big L. I was hoping we'd get a little pump on Monday or Tuesday. Maybe tomorrow we get a little pump on this thing, just so I can sell it for a little bit higher. And on stocks, you have to wait a week before you can buy back in order to claim the loss. So I would have to wait until not just, well, yeah, I would have to wait till probably January 7th, 6th or 7th, right? To buy back in if I wanted to buy zone again. So we wait. All right, that's what's going on. Oh, also Robinhood tonight, day 4 of the Robinhood giveaway. Again, Robinhood Gold members only tonight for the Robinhood giveaway. Last night, they gave away ETH. I got what, $2.56 worth of ETH. Didn't win a TV. Could have used a new TV. That would have been nice. Hey, we'll see what the prizes are tonight. If you want to know what they are, you again follow me on X. I'll be posting all of that later tonight. So everybody wants to know about silver. Fine. What is going on with silver? Man, did it tank. That was the silver top that I called, right? There it was. And there's the dump. Went down to about $75. There was a reverse pump up to about 80, and then it dumped again back to 75, 74, 73, 72. It hit 71. Now it's, I mean, this is huge. This is a giant pullback because of the market cap of silver. It actually, last night, it passed NVIDIA for a little bit. And then when it dumped, it ended up back below NVIDIA. But silver, huge, huge dump. That's just like, I don't know, hundreds of billions of dollars, like of a pullback or something. Just crazy money. Now gold also dumped. I mean, that doesn't look good, right? Gold, look at that. Big sell-off this morning on gold. Only down 4.5%, but that, I mean, gold never trades like that. You never see that with gold. So, yeah, Laurel, I don't think they're cutting the supply of silver. What I read was China is just not going to allow the Chinese citizens to transfer silver out of the country. That's what I heard. Because the Chinese government, like you can't transfer your yuan, you know, the Chinese currency, and you can't trade it for other currencies because the Chinese government wants all the Chinese citizens to, whatever money they make in China stays in China. So you have to spend it. So you end up with these families that own like 5 condos, right? 10 houses, right? Because they have nothing else to spend their money on. You can't move it out of the country. So they just buy a bunch of apartments and condos, houses. Because they have nothing else to spend it on. They all have new cars, nice new cars around, like all of this stuff. So, yeah. So that's what's going on. I don't know if the silver thing is going to continue to go down. I'm guessing so. I mean, this is FOMO all over the place right here. I called it. There it was. Maybe another year from now, silver will go on a run. JP Morgan lost a lot of money shorting silver. Yeah, and there's another thing floating around on X about a bank that was totally over leveraged on silver and is probably going to fail. I mean, it's just like, you guys just can't buy and hold, can you? You can't do it. No, you got to start making all sorts of leverage trades, right? Danger on the leverage trades. Totally danger. Why do you do that? You put yourself in a position of way too much risk when you do that. But gamblers will be gamblers. I'm not talking about you, Chuck. So yeah, Bitcoin took out the shorts and then dumped and took out a bunch of longs, and now it's kind of treading water here. There's all these other bigger shorts up here at like 90,000, 91,000. I don't know if Bitcoin's going to go up there anytime soon. I don't see that happening. Let's look at the 3-day. They can leverage so that the government bails them out. Yeah. Let's look at the weekly. 3-day doesn't look good. Yeah, look at that. Look at all of this down here on Bitcoin. From 86.2 down to 86, right there. $90 million, $67 million, 6 or 7, 67, 69. That's what they're going to go after right there. And then, of course, we look at Dogecoins. Back to the weekly. And then to Doge, and we'll get the Dogecoin liquidations. And this is what I was saying was the target for Dogecoin was to take this stuff out. So, and that's just right here. That's this stuff right here, $3 million at 12.16. But look at this down here at 11.97, $4 million on that line right there of liquidity. 11.97. We don't want that. We don't want that. Yeah, A-Star, we're not going either. A penny or a dollar. I know, 6 or 7, right? 6 or 7, Chuck. Chucky, Chuckles, Charlie, Charles. Yeah, it is. Silver is trading a lot like crypto, right? Down big over the past day, but you're still up from where you were a week ago. Right, William, Dogecoin won't hit a penny. And there's no all eyes on silver song. That's true. I understand the occasional risky move, but that's just pure gambling, low success rate, and a bank doing it. A bank. They can leverage because the government bails them out. Of course, Gurinder. Of course. Chuckles. Degen's going to degen. Buenos noches. Now, my target is 9.5 cents, not a few pennies. That's my target. Bottom of the bear, 9.5. Silver is not like gold. I don't see it going on another run. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, the FOMO is real there. And we said it. We were showing the pictures and the videos last week of all these people in Asia like lining up to buy silver. And I was like, yeah, that is not good. As soon as you start seeing that, it's time to sell. Time to sell. A new TV for the Patriots playoffs. Patriots won the AFC East. Looking good. So they play Miami next week. See if they can win the whole conference. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Good afternoon, CDC. How are you? Zone, you're going to buy next year? Yeah, I'll buy it next year, probably too, after I got to let the wash sale end, the 7 days. I got to wait before I can buy in. Market makers and exchanges have too much control. Still shocked Binance isn't being investigated. Who's going to investigate them? What? It's international. Binance doesn't trade in the United States. Binance isn't here. So I've never bought silver. Never bought silver. And I'm not about to start. Not starting at all. No silver, no gold. It's crypto and stocks with me. If Dogecoin hit 50 cents, what percentage profits are you going to take? I would probably sell 80% of my Doge if Doge hit 50 cents. Just let the other 20% roll. That's probably what I would do. I'd like to be faced with that situation. I would like that for all of you guys too. Hey, Duchess, how are you? You're comparing Dogecoin to Crow. To Crow. What's Kronos doing? 9 cents. You know, Kronos went on a big run. God, I should have taken profits when it did that. Way back here. It went up to 30 cents. I should have taken profits there. I mean, I don't have a ton of it. It's all on crypto.com, but I briefly thought of it, and then I was like, yeah, I'll just let it run. You know, it's September. We still have the rest of the bull run to go, and I didn't touch it. I didn't do anything. That's my fault. But at the time, you're like, hey, they're front running the bull run. It's going to go, and it just dumped all the way back down. So now this was based on the whole what's the guy's name who runs crypto.com? Kriss something or other. I forget his last name. Because he met with Trump and they did some deal with Trump with crypto.com. And so it had this big pump here. That's what that was. Should have known. Anything dealing with Trump. Should have just sold. Now, you can't compare Crow with Dogecoin. They trade so different. So again, that's my opinion of it. They trade different. Silver is more useful than gold. A lot of gold fillings out there. I guess they don't really do gold fillings anymore. They've got some other material they use now, but they used to. Hey, Gene, I'm going to wait to see how low this goes before I put another $20 in. And Pepe. See if it goes down to the 11s. Well, the heat map is looking like 1197 is in the cards for Doge. A little crash down to 1197. That would be this on the heat map. That would be that bright yellow line right there. $4.7 million leveraged long right there. 1197. Yep. Crepes. We're talking crepes. Crepes. The foodies are chit-chatting in the chat. I know. I keep collecting my diamonds. I got another silver box, about 4.2 Crow on my last one. So, you know, it's another 40 cents at today's price. Right? You just keep doing it. It works. Apothecary, how are you? I think Doge is done until the next Bitcoin halving. So 2027 or 2028 for the next run, unless Elon adds it to X money in 26. I just hope it won't drop much more. We're near the bottom. And that's my thought exactly, right? 9.5 cents would be my bottom, probably next summer for Doge, unless there's some Elon thing, right? Unless we get an Elon thing. But meanwhile, X money, it still says launching in 2025. Look at that. It's still there, launching in 2025. Who believes that? Anybody believe that? I don't. You had to edit your new username to keep your membership? Yeah. The membership's good, though. Crepes, crepes, crepes. You guys talk about football, too? Oh my God. Don't forget that the last bear market, Doge bottom, happened at the beginning of it. It was in June 2022. June 2022, Dogecoin hit 4.95 cents. That was the bottom. It went down big in February, March, but actually bottomed in June. And then just kind of picked around in the 5s and 6s, 6s and 7s. And then in the 9s by the summer of 2024. Yep. Crepes, crepes, crepes. The crepe action, exactly, DB. Gold, silver, Bitcoin, Doge on the 5-year charts. I know that's what I printed earlier. Somebody said since 2015, gold is up like 400% and Bitcoin's up 1,700. And I'm like, have you checked Dogecoin? Because Dogecoin has outperformed all of them since 2015. Right? I don't know. I don't know how the degen gamblers trade silver. Whether you use puts and calls or I don't know how it works. We should polymarket the launch date of X money. There is one out there. We looked at it. I gotta search for X money, right? X money. Will X money launch in 2025? It's dumped. Past 2 months, it's dumped all the way down to 2%. So there'll be a new one for 2026. They don't have one that's based on dates, though. This actually started back in February. And it was trading up at like 88%. 88%. And now it's at 2. It's just a few days to go. Yeah. That looks like a rug pull right there. If we drop 90% from this cycle top, the bottom would be 4-ish. Yeah, last cycle, Doge only went down, 80% or something. Something like that. I don't remember. Am I the only one that thinks Bitcoin will go below 82K? And Doge not below 11? Maybe, because I say Bitcoin will go below 82K and Doge will go below 11 cents. That's what I say. $2.50 Dogecoin. I love it, Turbo. Do you think we're in a bear market or an extended 5-year cycle? No, it was a 4-year bear market for Bitcoin. Actually, 3 years and 11 months. From November 2021 to October 2025. 4-year cycle. 3 years, 11 months. So there was actually a 4-year cycle. Just Dogecoin front ran it by having its big pump a year ago, back in December 2024. Just like in 2021, Dogecoin front ran it. April, May 2021. It didn't hit its all-time high when Bitcoin did. It hit it earlier. And then the cycle high for Doge was December 2024 at 48 cents. which is actually like a 3.5-year time frame for Doge from its all-time high back in May 2021. So, yep, that was the cycle. So now, bear. And I've been calling it a bear market now for 2 months. And so far, I haven't been wrong. Haven't been wrong. I'm sitting here thinking, when is it going to go back up? We might get a little relief rally. I still think January, we're going to get a relief rally. Relief rally for Bitcoin, relief rally for Doge, in whatever form that is. But overall, I still think we are already in a bear market. And the charts kind of show that. I mean, the charts show that. From October 6th, right? That's when Bitcoin hit all-time high right there. October 6th. Bear market. Doesn't mean we can't get, some kind of relief rally, right? And then it comes around here and then it drops lower. That's what I would expect to see in a bear market. We get some kind of relief rally, take out a bunch of shorts, right? Some good news from something, and then it drops lower. That's what we would normally see. So that's what I'm going to talk about on Thursday on my 2026 outlook for crypto, Bitcoin, Dogecoin. Dogecoin price prediction will be included, and it will have, of course, caveats, right? With or without Elon, with or without X money, with or without Tesla, right? Because it's two different prices. Two different prices. The base case is going to be X money launching for the public without Dogecoin integrated. That'll be the base case. And we'll take it from there. So that's coming on Thursday. On Thursday, guys. But yeah, we're in a bear market. What do you call it when you can't stop adding more and more ingredients to your crepe? Fartcoin is the true star performer. Not so much. It's actually Zcash. But hey, good luck with your Fartcoin. Adding rum to the crepe? Sounds tasty. But we got institutions on board this time. No, we don't. Did you see the Doge ETFs? Did you see this? Look at all the money flowing into the Doge ETFs. Daily net inflow. December 11th, 0. December 12th, 0. December 15th, 0. December 16th, 0. December 17th, 0. December 18th, 0. December 19th, 0. December 22nd, 0. December 23rd, 0. December 24th, 0. December 26th, 0. You get the picture here? Nobody's buying the Dogecoin ETFs. Nobody's buying. That shows absolutely zero institutional interest in the Dogecoin ETFs. None. Nobody's buying. Zero inflows. For 2 weeks now, it's been 0. Now, I kind of predicted this. I just thought it was funny that there was going to be an ETF for Dogecoin, but I said it's not going to do anything for the price of Doge. I didn't expect all the zeros, though. Like none. Like a 0. That's crazy. That's crazy. Because if you look at XRP, millions of dollars are flowing into XRP. Millions of dollars every day are flowing into the XRP ETFs. Millions of dollars. Doge, zero. It is what it is. It is what it is. Institutions are not buying Dogecoin ETFs. Doge is close to putting the bottom in, 11 to 12 cents, you think? This zone is held well. Price is sitting right near previous liquidation wicks. That's down to 9.5. That's what I see. It all depends on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to drop. Is it going to go to 69, right? If Bitcoin goes to 69, Doge will be 9 cents. It won't be able to hold. We'll see. Well, our friend Anthony is back. How are you? Good to see you are back. Thanks for checking in. I'm selling at 72. Hi, Yili. Did I sell my Bonk and Pengu and Pepe? Nope. Maybe tomorrow. Come on, I want a little green. Can we have one green day? Maybe tomorrow, please. But I will be selling. Yes. I will be selling. Dogecoin has been in a bear, not Bitcoin. Remember, Charles, Bitcoin hit a new all-time high on October 6th. The 4-year cycles are built around Bitcoin. As expected, I didn't miss a thing except lower prices. Now I can buy back whatever I sold last month or so. 33 Doge, right? You can buy 33 Doge at a lower price. Oh. Dogecoin did only a 618 retracement this cycle. Hey, if you believe in technical analysis, I showed that. I showed what the 1.618 would look like on a retracement, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good. But I don't believe in that. That's just lines that don't mean anything in my book. Right? Crypto, you can buy right back. Stocks, you have to wait. So the 7-day thing I was talking about was for Clean Core Zone, the stock. Crypto, you can buy right back. But I don't know if I want to buy Bonk and Pepe back. I don't know. Might just wait for the Doge dip. Hey, RR, how are you? If I sell my crypto for a loss, do I have to wait 7 days? You can buy back, Yili. You can buy back on crypto right away. It's only stocks that have the 7-day thing. No wash sale rules on crypto yet. Maybe next year they'll do something about it. Refraining from buying. Yeah, I'm not buying anything right now, Anthony. Tedward, you sold almost all your Doge to offset gains. January 1st, we'll be buying it all back. Yeah, I'm going to wait to buy back. I don't know. We'll see. 10-year cycle? Just pick a number, right? The cycle never ends, right? It's a never-ending cycle. It's just up only. Little dips along the way. Holding whatever I have now, poised to sell on strength. And Bitcoin Cash as well. Good for Bitcoin Cash. Yeah, I know Zcash is up, but Bitcoin Cash also, you're right. Nobody knows anything, Jay Vartan says. The market is manipulated. Nobody can predict anything. I know. I agree. I totally agree. I still make a price prediction video for the fun of it. It's for entertainment. Half the time I'm right. So, blame Kriss. You sold your Doge, now it's going back up. It'll go back down. It's just the way it works. Yo. Yeah, Jason, when Dogecoin goes on a big run, if there's like a big FOMO, like Dogecoin thing, you'll see those ETFs getting inflows. Then it'll happen. But right now, no. The ETFs are sad. Yes. It's almost as if that there were other major factors this year that overshadowed the ETF launch. I wonder what that could have been. At least zero is better than negative. Yeah. I know. Despite all of those inflows in those XRP ETFs, the XRP price is down too. That is true. XRP is at $1.85. The chart is almost exactly the same as Dogecoin. Look at that. It's exactly the same. You can hardly even notice I'm switching between the two. It's the same. Selling my 33 Doge at 18 cents proved to be a good move. Yep. Oh yeah, I admit I got November wrong. And right like 2 days after I made my November price prediction video, I turned bear. It was like right then. And I was like, oh yeah, now I get it. We got Doge OS coming. Those guys are super psyched. January or February. We're not in a bear market unless Bitcoin breaks 75K. No, what everyone says is when it drops below the 50-week moving average. And it did that. We called that out. The blue line right there, it's the 50-week moving average. It was at 103. It broke below it, stayed below it, bear market. This little move that I just called out here as a relief rally will come up and touch the 50-week moving average, as we saw in previous bear markets. It's already there. I already called it right here, first week in November. So now Anthony says, because I call bear market, which is now a month and a half in, almost 2 months ago, it's time to gear up and muster all the cash and go opposite. Hey, if that's what it happens, that's what it happens. On 6.7 year cycle. 6.7. Love it. The Pax cat. Yeah, he's not joining us today. Thank you, Will. Am I going to sell the crow to offset my tax? Actually, I think I'm up on most of my crow. I'm still in profit. So I don't want to sell. I don't want to take on any more taxes because most of my crow was bought at a lower price. Corporate wants you to find the difference between these two. I know, right? XRP and Doge trading exactly the same. Exactly the same today. I mean, look at that. It's exactly the same. I'm so happy for the silver bag holders. Misery loves company. Man, anybody who was buying silver at 80 bucks, I don't know. I imagine people were. Somehow it got up to 83, so that's not good. I've been a good guide for your crypto decisions. Opposite Kriss. Okay. Oh, I'm so a bear. I am such a bear. Crypto's going to dump. Then I get everybody to buy in and it goes up and I still win. I still win. Yeah, my predictions are practical. Yeah, I don't just use fib lines. I actually calculate it out. Look at the news that will actually move the markets, despite the market makers and the exchanges, the degen, gamblers, leverage traders, all of that. The middle ground. You know, and what we're finding is as the market cap of crypto grows and grows, we do see less volatility in price. You know, that arc that I've shown, right? Sort of the smoothing out. That's a thing. That is a thing. Peak to $1. I sold my peak. Already took the L on that. Reverse Ali. I know, right? Reverse Ali. God, he's been wrong so many times this year. Well, the TD sequential indicator said to buy, right? And it goes down lower. It's like, yeah, not good. Yeah, it's an overall outlook, and I will give Dogecoin price, and I'll talk about Bitcoin price a bit too. But people give me a hard time about my price predictions. So I've been talking about outlook, but it's a price prediction, right? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Let's get a KrissPax short squeeze. Everyone buy Dogecoin on January 1st. That would be awesome. Everybody doing it because I'm being a bear. I said there'll be a relief rally. I did say that. I was just hoping the relief rally was in December so I could sell my Bonk and my Pepe at a higher price. Just doesn't look like that's going to happen. Stucked again. I take the L. I buy back in next year, something at a lower price. But yeah, this isn't good. I wanted to sell Pepe at 5. Now it's at 4. For Pepe to go back up to 5, it would have to go up, what, 20%? That's not happening. Stucked. I predict Kriss will have another live stream. I'll be here tomorrow. I thought XRP would be a lot higher by Christmas. Wrong. I thought with all the ETFs buying, people would be more to XRP. Nope. Doesn't matter. Analysts are not able to predict the Trump factor. Yeah, our pro-crypto president, right? He's going to be so good for crypto. Not. At least if Trump doesn't want to lose the midterms, he won't take more actions to create fear in the market. It's all about the stocks, RR. He doesn't care about crypto. He really doesn't. He wants the precious stock market to go up. He doesn't care about crypto. So he will make it so that money printing is happening in order to prop up the stock market. Is that going to be good for Bitcoin and the crypto market too? He doesn't care. It might. There should be a euphoria chart outside of the fear and greed index. Yeah, typically when you're looking at a chart that's going up and you get to the point where you want to take a picture of it, that's when you should be selling. Was he good for his own crypto? It kind of tanked. Hey, the Pax Cat is here. Duchess, we do have Pax Cat in the house. Hi. Hi, hi, hi. Yeah, hi. Yeah. The Pax Cat. All right. We are blessed with the presence of the Pax Cat. Money printer go brr. Yeah, if you're a bank, right? Get bailed out if you mess up too bad. Not bad. A great merch idea. Pax Cat stickers. Pax Cat stickers. Oh. If they win on their bets, they profit. If they lose on their bets, they get bailed out. Yeah, I think he did, Joanna. I think he did. Usually like 5 o'clock. Like 5 o'clock, he comes in. Many days. Some days he totally ignores me. But today, he's here. What? I do understand the market doesn't care how you feel. Long-time investors will win. I mean, we look at this daily price action, but again, in crypto, it's time in the market, definitely. You buy and you hold. You buy and you hold. The Pax Cat just made a marker. I don't know what that means, but there's now a marker on the live stream at 1 hour and 5 minutes. You did something walking across the keyboard. Oh, you did something. Ask the guy who created Neuro to make your Pax Cat stream. Oh, God. What's the last day for tax harvest? For stocks, you have to sell by noon on Wednesday. Because I think it's only a half day of stock trading on Wednesday. For crypto, you can go right up to 11:59 on December 31st. All the way to 11:59. Yes, to Pax Cat stickers. Well done. I know, he does. I don't think Bitcoin's going to drop below 40K. My bottom that I have, as I've shown before, was 69. That's my bottom, was 69. Yeah, the cat leaves his scent everywhere. Everywhere. Oh, buddy. Don't show bottoms. People ask, I mapped it out. It was about a month ago. I did bear market bottoms. We did it all on a live stream. It was about 69K. I got rid of all that stuff because it was messing up all my charts. I had to clean up my charts. So I deleted all that stuff. But it's on one of those live streams from like a month or two ago. Yeah, 40K, no way. Sorry, I know many of you have some real skin in the game, but I'm loving the pattern. You want a low order to fill. Right now, it's 1197. That's the next big target, 1197. And I know you guys don't want 11-cent Doge, but Mike does. Philly Mike is like, yeah, I'll take that. Bottoms? Bottoms? Is Dogecoin going to zero? It can't. It's impossible for Dogecoin to go to zero. It is absolutely impossible. There will always be Dogecoin in circulation. It will not go to zero. You do know Dogecoin is still the 9th largest cryptocurrency by market cap, right? Not dead, not going to zero. Yeah, that guy, Nick Shirley, he's all over X now because he did his YouTube video and then he posted the whole thing on X as well and got like over 100 million views of it. And now the FBI and is all into it because of him. I think that's awesome. It's awesome that you can do that. And an independent journalist, you can uncover something like that. Now, there are other videos that have come out that have showed some previous Minnesota local TV stations that have done some investigative journalism into the daycare fraud. But that was just a limited number. It's much bigger than what they thought. Yeah, Pablo Torre. Pablo does it for sports. Journalism is dead except when people do stuff like that. I know, right? Most of the journalists aren't journalists anymore. They're just faces reading off of a script. That's not journalism. Not journalism. Where did all the money that Doge found and was wasted all go? The debt is still rising. Well, they pretty much got clipped by Congress. So Congress doesn't like a lot of the things that Doge was finding because a lot of it needed congressional action. And Congress just wasn't doing it. Doge is doing what they can on the fringes still. So cutting that spending, going to these useless NGOs and other organizations. So they are doing that still, but the money printer is much stronger. The money printer is much, much stronger. But yeah, Doge is still working. It's incredibly sad. It's incredibly sad that they weren't even remotely trying to hide the scamming. Well, Davey boy, Doge has been adding 5 billion coins every year for years. And on a percentage basis, it's about 3.2% this year. Do you know what Solana's increase in tokens was this year? Do you know what XRP's was? Do you know what Algorand's was? Do you know what SUI was? They're all higher percentage-wise than Doge. So do your research, find out about increasing supply of tokens, and you will see there's a crap ton of cryptos that have a higher percentage increase in their total supply than Doge. So, including XRP, yes, the beloved XRP, the people of because Ripple can just go and mint new XRP tokens whenever they want. Dogecoins is measured, it's predictable, and if you have a problem with it, then you should have probably done your research about Dogecoin before you bought Dogecoin. But that's the thing. People just buy Doge, they don't do their research, and then once the price goes down, they start looking for excuses. And then they jump on this. Unlimited supply, 5 billion coins. I'm just like, then why did you buy it? If you've got a problem with it now, you shouldn't have bought. You should have known then and not bought Doge. So I'm just saying, that's my spiel whenever I hear that 5 billion nonsense. It makes it a better coin to use as a transactional currency. So anyway, no offense to you, just that's my spiel. If Binance and Coinbase delisted it, it still wouldn't go to zero. There's a lot of cryptos that have been delisted that haven't gone to zero. It'll go pretty low, but it'll never hit zero. But Binance and Coinbase aren't going to delist it because they get precious money off of the trading. They want Dogecoin to have high volume of trades. They don't care whether it goes up or down. They just want a lot of trading because they make money. I like your thoughts of Doge being a spending currency. Right. $1 would be an ideal price. If Doge went to $1 and then just hung out there, that'd be awesome. Somebody in New Jersey named Cheryl, an inside trader, will run for president. Aren't they all inside traders? Even that Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, right from Somalia, is worth like $30 million now somehow on a $174,000 salary. How is she worth $30 million? When literal Dogecoin on the moon? Maybe in 2026. The Dogecoin inflation is lower than the dollar inflation. True. Yeah, RR. Exactly. If the 4-year cycle is real, Doge topped before Bitcoin. Yes, just like it did last cycle. 2021, Dogecoin topped in May. Bitcoin didn't top until November. Same thing. Very similar. Yep. I'm married to no other crypto than stablecoins. Yes, stablecoins. You can't lose, right, with stablecoins. Well, you lose the price of inflation, right? The 3% inflation you lose with stablecoins, unless you get yield on it. And that's what the discussions are right now in Congress, is allowing yield on stablecoins. Right. If you get APY in stables, we'll see. We will see. Could Dogecoin drop out of the top 25? Man, that would be, that would be all of these other cryptos down here. Avalanche, Dai, Sui, Hedera. Look, Hedera's gone all the way down to 23. Hedera was up to number 12 or something. And it's now all the way down to 23. Canton, whatever that is. Uniswap, your Sheeb, all the way down to 26 now. Could it happen? I guess if there were some really negative things about Dogecoin. But Dogecoin is at $20 billion. Uniswap is at 3.7 billion. That's a huge gap. Yeah, that's not happening. And if the whole market goes down where Dogecoin is going to drop from 20 billion down to 4, let's say, down to 4 billion. These are all dropping too. They're not going up. That's kind of hard to do. Doge already is a spending currency, Anthony. I've got a cyber whistle to prove it. I use Dogecoin to buy this. It's a spending currency. $2026 is the bear market. Why would Doge go to the moon in 2026? Because the stupid company making the satellite that's supposed to go to the moon is way behind schedule. Should have been a year ago. No. Ryan has it right. Silly Anthony. Dogecoin will crater eventually. Nope, it won't. Unless the whole crypto market craters. If the whole crypto market does like a tulip, right? Total crash, right? Doge will go with it. Yeah, go back on holiday. LOL. Doge will go to the moon once Uncle Donnie and cousin Elon release it. It has nothing to do with them. The Falcon rocket was ready to go. Geometric and their third party didn't have the satellite ready. That's all it was. They didn't have it ready. So no Doge won. Yeah, Anthony, Dogecoin's not going to be mainstream on Amazon and Walmart and all those. That's not going to happen. Even I've said that. They don't need it. Now, if Elon integrates it into X, right, and people are actually like buying things on Shopify directly with Doge on X, you're going to see a lot more adoption come. But it takes that leap of faith by someone like Elon to get it started. Right now, it's just a fringe thing, like Williamsburg Pizza in New York we talk about, right? They accept Dogecoin directly for pizzas. And they give you a discount, like 20% discount if you buy in Doge. They're stacking Doge, right? So they believe, but it's still a fringe thing right now. And I've always said that. It could grow, but it's never going to be like Amazon. You're not going to be using your Doge to buy things directly on Amazon. Now you can do third party like gift cards and things like that, like Bit Refill and things like that. I don't count that. I don't count that. That's not real adoption. That's going through BitPay or, one of those others. That's not adoption. What would be epic is if Elon went up and put Dogecoin on the moon. That would be. Crypto people are giving up. I know, right? They all went and bought silver at the top. And now they're hurting on their silver because they bought silver at 80 bucks. Let's see where silver is now. Silver is trading at 72. They bought up here. Toys for Tots has accepted Dogecoin donations for a few years now. Directly. Don't need no third party. Now, Dogecoin's not going to go lower because you can't use it to buy things on Amazon. Dogecoin's going to go lower because the whole crypto market is going to go lower. People are optimistic about Dogecoin, but they're not optimistic about the crypto market, which is in extreme fear. Again, Anthony, come on. You're smarter than that. I know that. You're letting your emotions get to you now. Relax. Relax. Take it easy. You're happy with crypto prices? You want to buy in lower? Not quitters? I'm not a quitter. Hoo-yah. Talk to me, Goose. Beep, boop. Extreme fear for the entire year. It could. No, I think we'll get a relief rally. It'll go up to fear and maybe neutral a little bit. But it'll drop back down. Because there'll be something else will come along. Summer 2026. Not looking good. I'm going to talk about all that on Thursday. You're not going to like it. It is what it is. Trump get a Dogecoin tattoo. If Doge becomes a currency, there'll be constant selling. Yeah, but there'll be more buying. Circulating, right? Circulating Doge. That will be awesome. The miners will be all over it. That'll get it going. The miners will be all over it. Anthony trying to make up for the time he was Oh, 2025 was almost all fear. Yeah. We had a lot of it. All right, gang, that's what we got. Look, I still think Dogecoin could drop to 1216, take out more leverage. Be careful of that. Bitcoin trying to hold 87, probably going to go down little, 86.4, 86.3. We located those down below 86.7 that it dipped to here this morning. It'll probably dip lower. Market makers still want to take out more long leverage. That's what I see coming. I'll be back again tomorrow. So we will convene, keeping things real like I do. So that's what we got. I hope everyone has a great Monday night. We'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.